Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday, the 2nd of January 2020. It is a pleasure to be with you today. I'm using the Star Tarot for today's reading. Let's have a look at what the cards we need to be aware of and what energy you'll be working with. I hope you had a wonderful new year. If you want to look at what the year has in store for you personally, and please get in touch with me for a personal reading via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. And on the front page, just click on the button to order your reading with me. We can look at your birth charts, what the cards are saying. So this has popped out already. What's coming up in future via the transits and the progress chart. So if you have any questions, just get in touch with me. So this is for Thursday, the 2nd of January. I love it. The Tower and the King of Wands and the King of Cups. Oh, wow. It's gay party at the disco today. That's what it looks like to me. The Tower is a card that signifies major change. And in this deck, it's really dramatic. Look at it. It's lightning strikes and it's yellow. It parts the clouds there. So this is it comes from a happy place and it destroys something that's negative. The Dove of Peace is there. The sun is setting. Everything else is kind of watching this happen and these people go flying. And it's that old belief that, before something new can start, you have to get rid of the old and you have to make space for something new to come in. The people who want to come in, both kings being really ambitious, otherwise you don't get to become king. If you could care less about power or having a crown or ruling a country or an element, then you're not going to become the king. It has to be a vocation. It has to be something that you're truly good at. So, if you're a footballer, if you have a natural talent for football, you can play that out. If you have a natural talent for acting, you will play that out and be the best actor you can be. And if you happen to be Meryl Streep, then you're the king or queen of wands. So something is changing, and we know that things are changing at the moment because, one, it's a new year and we're thinking about changes and we're making resolutions in terms of how things are going to be and how we want them to be. Also, at the same time, we're already being confronted with a new year, and some of the things that we have resolved have already gone out the window. So there may be a sense of floundering around and, oh my goodness, what am I doing? Should I build and focus, or should I just let go of negative things that are happening in my life? Should I just let it slide off and be kind? Or should I get involved and stand up for myself? It's a confusing time because look at this. I know it's lava, like the fire that hangs in the air when there's a huge bushfire or a volcano. We were on the island of Reunion when I was a little kid, and there was an active volcano there, and we could see the lava. And it has these wispy kind of fire things, ashes that are still lit in the air. But here it looks like space, doesn't it? And it feels like your higher self interfering and intervening and blowing up this mountain or this volcano that's already causing loads of trouble in your life. It's blowing up the entire volcano so that it's gone. And what it leaves behind is space in the universe. So you're really able to throw out the people and the things that have seeped into your life and have felt threatening and dangerous and annoying, and you're creeping ever closer. You're able to liberate yourself from that and fly away from all of that by blowing the whole thing up. And that doesn't mean that you have to be destructive, but if you have to draw a line with someone and say that's enough, then the Tower today absolutely gives you that ability. The King of Wands has mastered the element of Wands, which is about life purpose, passion, desire, ambition. You see the dragon there, symbol of power and wealth. Here we've got the endless cycle of the dragon. So he sees himself as eternal. He sees himself as divinely appointed. We've got this fiery staff there, showing his brilliance to all the world. And we've got a halo around his head. So he's genuinely connected to spirit. And in his case, the way spirit wants him to use his talent is to be a leader and to be in charge, to be a military man, to be a general, to be a leader of men and women. He has these lions here as pets, and even they look diminished by his greatness. He looks more of a lion with these giant shoulders than they do. So the message is very simple. I am extremely powerful. Look at my glory. I'm not hiding it. I'm confident, I'm passionate, I know exactly what I want. And remember that this is in the center of the reading. So instead of letting the lava flow all over the place and things being problematic in your life, you boom, blow that up, you take control of the fire, of the flame, you concentrate all that power of the volcano in this flame that you hold there, and you feel like it's your obligation to start living the life that you're meant to live. So I really don't think that you're going to suffer fools very easily on this day. So if you find yourself being foolish and someone is telling you off, why would you do that to yourself? Or there's a whole app for that, or, so if you're being reprimanded, just don't immediately go into attack mode. Maybe think they could be right. And if it is just random criticism that really doesn't help, then you can use that anger to say, that was the last time I was going to listen to one of those comments or remarks. You have no idea, for example, how, like if a friend makes critical remarks all the time, you could say, you have no idea how much damage this does or has done over the years. You call it or saying this to me, and I've had it, and we need to draw a line under it. And that takes power, that takes strength, that takes a certain belief in yourself. If you have no self-esteem and no self-confidence, then you'd let someone else who's kind of messing you around a little bit, you'd allow them to do that to you, because it would be like this sense of, okay, someone is a thorn in my side, or someone is kind of creeping up on me slowly and becoming more and more of an irritant and more of a burden. But I'm pretty damaged myself, so who am I to let this person into my life or not? Who am I to say this is a good thing for me or it's a bad thing? The person you are is a divine spiritual being who is destined to be happy. So it is your absolute right to say, you're not bringing good things into my life, and I've listened to this insult for 3 years, and that was the last time I'm going to listen to it. Bye you. So see you later, out of the tower. That takes the energy of the King of Wands, who is at the center. By doing something that feels difficult like that, because most of us don't like conflict, do we? And we don't like having to assert ourselves. Or this can even be work. You're having a meeting now, it's the beginning of the year, and new roles are being handed out. And the boss is let's say he's an Asian man who's 60 years old who works in London, okay? And he decides that the jobs are going to go to A, B, and C, and you were really working for that position, and you didn't get the job, and you really think it's an injustice and unfair, and you confront him about it and say, I really, in terms of what I give to this company, you've made a mistake in not including me. This takes real confidence and belief in yourself, and you'll have that today. And you'll say, I know that I do a really, really good job here. I'm better than the three you chose. I'm saying to you, either include me in that and extend it to 4, or I'm going to give you an ultimatum, and either I'm going to step down in 6 months or I'm going to leave immediately, or whatever it may be. If you give someone time to, after that kind of confrontation, so if you say, if nothing happens about this in 3 months' time, I'm going to have to move on, just, for my own well-being. And that's very reasonable, because you're not here to be overlooked all the time. The star at the center of his armor there is a symbol of the pentacle. It's spirit over matter. The point at the top is spirit. Then we've got air, fire, earth, and water. So it's your will that really decides what the landscape of your life is going to look like. And this is the first day of the year where you're really back in it and you're really manifesting what it is you want. And I think a lot of other people are going into this year with a lot of agendas and things they want to do. And it may be likely that there are clashes and that there could be moments that aren't so positive. But if the question is, this person is doing something to me, I'm thinking about it. Is this rude or outrageous, or is this fine? It doesn't feel nice to me, but is this something I signed up for or I have to take? Or should I stand up for myself and say this doesn't feel comfortable and good, and I will stand up for myself and say something? If you have a choice between those two today, take it personally and stand up for yourself and say, I have not come back into the office for this kind of behavior, for example. And some people may raise their eyebrows. I remember when I worked at the bank, and there was this guy who always came in. He was some sort of area person who checked on the quality of things. And he came in and he was a real trickster. He loved to throw gossip bombs and then leave, because his job enabled him to move from one bank to the other. So he never have to deal with the fallout of his gossiping. And he was giving a speech or something, and he was making a point, and I felt really vindictive about what had happened at our branch, and I really challenged him in front of all these people in terms of what he was saying, and it kind of shut him down, and it didn't do me any favors. I mean, if you're in a company like that, usually most people suck up and they try to make friends with the boss. I could never do that, because that's not authentic. I can't pretend to I can't suck up to someone, because if I don't mean it, I can't suck up to anyone, period. I'm the same with anybody and everybody. And what you're able to do is be certain that you also have a right to your own opinion, and that you can either have this really inconvenient volcano in your backyard, or whether you're going to blow it up and say, no, thank you. I'd rather have the lake and the sun shining, going down on the water in the evenings, rather than looking at all this mess. So you can really tidy up your own messes by going through it. As I think Churchill said, the only way through is to go through. The only way out of the problem is by doing the legwork and seeing your way through the problem. You have the power and the strength today. You're really supported. Finally, the King of Cups, he rules the element of water, which is love and spiritual connection. Pisces here, the two whales, very cleverly done, I think. A half moon, the meeting point between light and dark. It's an equinox as far as he's concerned, because he lives in that eternal place of dawn and dusk, where you can access the subconscious mind and you can feel the love in your heart. And if you just close your eyes, and if you have been meditating for a long time and you've got to a place where you just close your eyes and you can feel the love, then that's the kind of thing that's symbolized by this flower behind his head and in his heart, that he can at any time access this stream of consciousness. And these flying fish, it gives him such power his ideas take off and take flight. His crown chakra is inflamed. It's like, it's a genuine thing. Like, there are ascension, I don't talk about this very much, but there are ascension symptoms. Like, as you raise your vibration, there are things that happen to you. And he is really, his crown chakra is doing overtime, and he's downloading all this information. And because he's the king of cups, he's not moody or hot and cold one day or the other, or connected or not connected the other day. He's consistent in his feelings. He's someone who's like the Dalai Lama. He's consistent in his love and joy, and his conviction and belief in the good of humanity. I watched a lot more of the news than I usually do. I mean, I usually stay kind of informed. What I've noticed is that if you don't watch the news and don't check obsessively every day, the things that you really need to know, you find out anyway. So I'm not a regular news checker, but what I looked at over the Christmas period, there's so much negativity in it, and it's really all about getting a response, like getting someone to read that paper and having your attention grabbed. It's something that will seize your interest so that you'll pick it up in the store along with all the other things. And it's not something that's positive. And if you've had a lot of negativity around you lately, today is the day to just say enough of that, bye-bye. So for instance, I'm not going to watch the news obsessively every day. I'm going to remember that it's not all violence and death and wars. Fundamentally, I hope you believe, because I believe we are all one, and that one is love. It's the King of Cups. And it's only the illusion that we're separate because we're in these bodies that keeps us thinking that we're separate from one another, but we're not. And the King of Cups is the outcome to standing up for yourself today. If you say, no more negativity, please, or you say, I'm going to take this energy and I'm going to blow it up to channel it into my spiritual purpose. I'm going to hop into my chariot, or I'm going to put wheels on this throne and make it a chariot. I'm going to put harnesses on these poor little lions and get them to actually work for me. And off I go. I'm going to gallop off into my life, into my vocation. The King of Cups is the outcome of the day. So you're going to feel emotionally liberated, fulfilled. If you're someone who struggles with life purpose or what you're supposed to do work-wise, get in touch with me for a personal reading to look at that. Like I said, I can look at life purpose and what your vocational aptitudes are, what's coming up in love and romance. But the kings are very, very adept at what they do. So use the energy of these two strong men who are really supporting you and giving you dragon energy and whale and dolphin and water energy. And they really allow you to form. I mean, lava is earth that is currently fluid. So it's a huge, amazing opportunity to reform that. And then when it cools, it becomes a structure and a foundation in your life. So use the strength, and in the tarot, men represent things like Aries and lions and the bull, and building things and destroying things and taking charge and lifting things that are heavy and being a leader. You've got that with you in a loving way and in a very assertive, direct way. Use that to your advantage to really get rid of situations that you haven't been able to get rid of up until now. I also wasn't joking about the gay disco thing. I really think that these two guys are a great match, and that something really transformative can happen if you're a gay man or or you're a gay woman. That it's really likely that something unexpected happens and you meet someone who you're interested in. Number-wise, with numerology, 16 and the kings, they count as 1. So 1 and 1 is 2 is a relationship anyway. But 2 and 16 is 18. 1 and 8 is 9. 9 is spirituality and completion. Okay? So you have the King of Cups within you all day anyway. So spirituality, that's the answer. If you listen to him and you make it full circle, you listen to your feelings, you say, this is unacceptable, I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. I'm going to use my King of Wand energy to get my lions to roar at this woman who is in my life and who is not treating me well. And she's going to be scared and run off. And I'm going to have space in my life to now focus on the things that I love instead of being tyrannized by this person, as an example. So you come full circle today, and at the end of the day, you will have taken an active part in shaping your life in a way that's more to your liking. So you'll have taken the initial step of laying down the footwork in the sense of your path, the direction you're going in. And again, if that is something you struggled with for life or you still struggle with, then do get in touch with me for a personal reading in which I use the tarot cards, astrology, and numerology. And to draw up your astrology chart, I need your place of birth, your time of birth, and your place of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, then please order a chart rectification with me on the website. That's a process where I can find out your time of birth. It's really important to have that because it makes the reading far more accurate. Once I have those details, I can answer any questions you've got about your life or your soul mission or moving or really anything that you can come up with that's troubling you. Just get in touch via gregoryscott.com and click on the button on the front page. If you like this video, please hit subscribe and share the video online. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day here. The second day of a whole new decade, of a whole new year. So I really hope you use the power of these two men. They're on your side. It's like having two bodyguards with you. Okay? Have a fabulous day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.